5-second rule exposed by Jan McCarl. People drop food every day onto the ground. They then have to decide whether they want to pick it up and still eat it. Many people go through a thought process questioning if the food is still clean and safe to eat. Some questions that you might ask during this thought process are, is it safe to eat still? Is the surface clean that the food it fell on? Will I get sick? Is my food dirty? What about the 5-second rule? As we make the decision to eat food or avoid it, our brain uses past experiences to decide almost automatically what we are going to do. For example, if we spilled a bowl of cereal, we would most likely decide it is no longer good to eat. But what about a cookie or cracker? Most people have heard of the 5-second rule, but what exactly is it? The 5-second rule is an urban myth that says if food spends just 5 seconds or less on the floor, dirt and germs won't have much of a chance to contaminate it. Is the 5-second rule true or false? Despite a strong common belief, the 5-second rule is pseudoscience and has been proven false through evidence-founded research studies. The main reason the 5-second rule is false is because time doesn't matter. According to the 5-second rule, the faster you pick up the food, the safer it is to eat. Although this sounds great in theory, time has nothing to do with how much bacteria goes on the food item. So, with that, there are many factors, including 3 big determining factors that affect the amount of bacteria transferred. The first factor is the amount of bacteria that is on the surface. Different surfaces have various amounts of bacteria and dirt on them. When the food item hits the floor, only so much bacteria can transfer from the piece of floor. With there being a specific amount of bacteria on the ground, it is only possible for the food item to contract so much bacteria. It is not likely, though, that the food item would pick up all the bacteria on the piece of floor because there are other determining factors. The second factor is the kind of surface your food lands on. Depending on the surface, bacteria will transfer differently. Smoother surfaces are likely to transfer more bacteria. Some smoother surfaces include wood, laminate, and tiled flooring. Other surfaces, such as carpet, transfer less bacteria. This is due to the carpet having less surface area that actually touches the food. The third factor that affects the transfer of bacteria and dirt is the kind of food that is dropped. The kind of food that is dropped is important because foods have different amounts of moisture. The more moisture a food has, the more dirt and bacteria it will pick up. On the other hand, if the food is dry and there is no stickiness to it, it is less likely that the bacteria will stick to it. With bacteria and dirt being less likely to transfer to the dry food products, they will be safer to eat than the moist foods if dropped on the ground. So, knowing moisture can help you to make a more informed decision. Considering all these 3 factors, not including time, researchers have come to a conclusion that the 5-second rule is false and pseudoscience. Remember, the 3 factors are bacteria amounts on a surface, the kind of surface, and the type of food. It is better not to eat off the floor at all, but if you are going to, you should make a more informed decision by using these 3 factors. There is always the possibility of bacteria that could harm you or make you sick.